Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. That's it.
One of the most common phrases that you will hear in the personal development community is that you don't need more motivation, you need more discipline. If you could just be more disciplined to get up early and go to the gym before work, you'd be in better shape. If you could just be a little bit more disciplined with your finances, sticking to a budget and watching what you spend, you'd be in a better financial position. If you could just discipline yourself to sit down and write, you could finish that book and publish it like you've been talking about doing for so many years. And then when we see someone who we believe is quote unquote successful in an area of their life, we look at them and say, wow, they must be so disciplined to be able to have that level of success. Well, I hate to break it to you, but that is a lie. And let me prove it to you. Did you brush your teeth this morning? I hope you did. I mean, we should have, right? This is an incredibly important habit that leads to our overall health. Now let me ask you this. When you got up this morning and you went to brush your teeth, did it take incredible discipline to get yourself down the hallway, into the bathroom, get the toothbrush out, get the toothpaste out? I can't believe I have to put this much discipline and willpower into making this happen. Of course not. You've been brushing your teeth for many, many, many years. It is a habit and a part of your life. Now, how you started out learning that habit probably required some discipline. I've got young children and my 2 older daughters. I remember as we were developing that habit of brushing their teeth, there were some nights where it was like pulling teeth, no pun intended. And it was like really challenging. There were tears, mostly from me. But now as they've grown up, they brush their teeth every night before they go to bed. There's no fighting about it. This is a part of the routine. We brush the teeth, we read the stories, go to bed. And this is what Gary Keller talks about in his book, The One Thing. And he has a chapter in there called A Disciplined Life. And in that chapter, he says that we have this idea in our minds that a successful person is a disciplined person who leads a disciplined life. But that is a lie. He goes on to say that we already have all the self-discipline that we need. We just need to understand how to use it and direct it better. So think about the teeth brushing example. What Gary's talking about in his book is that if we believe this myth of self-discipline, we think that discipline is required for the long game. But he says that success is actually a sprint to develop a habit that will serve us in the long term towards the goal, towards the success that we are aiming for. And just like with brushing your teeth, where there's discipline required to develop that habit, now you just do it. Think about the impact that that can have on all of the different areas of your life. Because if you're sitting there and you're telling yourself, I can't do this because I'm not a disciplined person, we need to change that framework, to change that mindset, because you only require short sprints of discipline to develop the habits that are going to set you on the trajectory of success. So how can we do this? The first thing that I think we need to do is change the way that you think about the word discipline. I mean, that word alone, it just sounds painful. And if we equate discipline to a lifelong thing, like if you're going to be successful, it's going to take lifelong discipline, lifelong pain, then yeah, why would you want to step foot on a journey that's going to be painful every single step of the way? You know, we read books like Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, and he has that chapter in there, Discipline Equals Freedom. It's very catchy. I love the concept. I love the idea. But discipline equals freedom needs to be framed under the idea that you need a sprint of discipline to develop and open up the freedom, the success that you believe that you're looking for. So when you're setting up this idea of maybe getting up early to go to the gym before work, you're going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that's going to hurt for the first little bit, but only until you develop the habit. Just like brushing your teeth, the habit will develop. And then all of a sudden, you get out of bed, you brush your teeth, and you go to the gym. And you're on your way. And the second thing that I want to recommend to you today is to work on only building one new habit at a time. In The One Thing, Gary talks about how success is sequential, not simultaneous. So when you see someone that is quote unquote successful in an area of life or in many areas of their life, they are not superhuman. What they have done is they have built success one habit at a time. And over time, those habits build up to quote unquote a successful life or winning in whatever it is that you think that they're winning in. But it's sequential, not simultaneous. It's not all happening at once. And I think this is a really interesting challenge for us. When I listened to Craig Rochelle recently on a podcast, he talked about how he developed habits over the years, but he always only focused on one habit inside of a given year. He took 1 year to learn how to focus on his health. He took 1 year to figure out his finances. He took 1 year to figure out these different areas of his life. And then over 10 years, all of a sudden you're getting all of these things dialed in. And I know this can be really counterintuitive, especially when you sit down and you say, hey, I want to grow in all of these different areas of my life. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be better with my finances. I want to be a better leader. I'd like to get better with my health. All of these different areas of life. But you've got to pick one, build the habit, then pick the next one. And the third thing I want to encourage you with today is to give each habit that you choose enough time to develop. Well, how long does it take to develop a habit? As long as it takes. In Gary's book, they talk about a lot of studies that were done that the average habit takes 66 days to develop. I've heard 21 days, 33 days, 90 days. Does it really matter? Because once the habit is developed, then the habit is in place, and all of a sudden that quote unquote discipline that we're afraid of, that pain that we're afraid of, sort of goes away. There's no pain in brushing your teeth anymore and getting yourself out of bed to go brush your teeth, but we have to put in the required time to develop the habit. Here's the reality. 66 days is a lot less than the next 25, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. You know, if it's 90 days, can you discipline yourself to do something for 90 days? Absolutely you can. You get to be disciplined on a sprint for a very short period of time and then develop the habit that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. So what's the one habit that you want to develop? Drop a comment and let me know. Head to my website and send me an email. I would love to talk to you about that and how I can support you in that. Pick one thing to work on. And remember this, that the Spirit God gives us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Have a great week.